She sent one final text, just one letter, K. Her phone went dark forever. And for 1,200 days, her body was hidden inside a tank on her own property. Here's what really happened to Deanne Warner. At exactly 10:53 p.m. on April 24, 2021, Deanne Warner's phone sent its final message, a single letter that would haunt investigators for years. K. For a woman who never sent one-word replies, the silence was deafening. The phone that had been constantly connected to her business, her children, her entire life, went dark. Deanne Warner, a mother of 5 and successful businesswoman who'd built an empire from nothing, vanished into the night. Her family spent 1,200 days searching for answers. The morning after that final text, Dee's daughter, Rickle Bach, arrived for their traditional Sunday breakfast. When she knocked, no one answered. This was unprecedented. When Rickle found Dale John Warner on the property, he approached her holding Dee's $50,000 wedding ring. He claimed Dee had left it before disappearing, but Rickle knew her mother would never remove that ring. Dale told people Dee had taken a travel bag and personal items, but both vehicles remained on the property. How could she have left without transportation? Dale's story was falling apart.
To understand what happened to Deanne Warner, you need to understand the life she was desperately trying to escape. This was not just a marriage gone wrong. It was a carefully constructed prison. Dee had grown up in a family that worked this land for generations. She built DDW Investments from nothing. Her children watched their mother run a company. She was the driving force behind their success. But success came with a price. Dale's systematically gained access to their joint accounts and business operations. The control was constant. The physical violence was becoming more frequent. Around November 2020, Dee showed her business manager a disturbing injury, a large bump on her forehead, the size of a quarter. About 5 months earlier, Dee had said she didn't want to leave Angelina Warner alone with Dale. Even then, Dee sensed her husband was dangerous. The psychological manipulation was insidious. Dale convinced Dee she could not survive without him. In December 2020, Dee tried to leave. She told a friend, Dale had turned into the devil. Her final words were prophetic. I literally thought he could kill me. On that Saturday morning, Dee had an appointment to get her eyelashes done. Her esthetician noticed Dee was crying. Her eyes were puffy from hours of tears. Despite this, Dee scheduled another appointment for the following week. She was making plans. This was not a woman preparing to disappear. Throughout that Saturday, Dee visited her older children. Her son Zach Bach could tell something was wrong. Dee was visibly upset. Zach received a text that afternoon. I'm done with this. I'll sign all my portions of the Warner businesses over to you. She was walking away from everything.
That evening, Dee found herself in a heated three-way argument with Dale and employee Todd Nank about the trucking business. Dee felt Nank was betraying her, making decisions behind her back. Dale sided against her. At 8:34 p.m., knowing the confrontation was imminent, Dee sent Angelina to stay with a friend. What Dee didn't know was that she had signed her own death warrant. The argument would be her last conversation. Dale later admitted they fought about money and infidelity, describing it as the worst argument of his life. Dee was finally standing up to her abuser. As the investigation progressed, Dale's behavior became suspicious. Instead of cooperating fully with law enforcement, Dale's priority was protecting himself. On Monday, just one day after Dee disappeared, Dale changed the password on the property's security system. Why would an innocent man restrict access to surveillance footage? That same day, Dale went shopping for an attorney. The financial investigation revealed Dale had been embezzling equipment and money from DDW Investments. He transferred assets to a new company. Using a forged power of attorney, Dale stole his missing wife's company. After 20 months of intensive investigation, authorities finally had enough evidence. On November 21, 2023, Michigan State Police arrested Dale John Warner at his home. He was charged with open murder and tampering with evidence. The arrest validated what Dee's family had believed from the beginning. At his arraignment, Dale pleaded not guilty. The prosecution requested a bond of $20 million. The judge denied the request. Dale was held without bond pending trial. The family was determined to see justice served. Dale had been stealing from his wife for years. The truth was finally emerging. On August 17, 2024, police executed a search warrant on Dale's property in Tipton, 4 miles from where Dee had lived. Hidden inside a barn was an anhydrous ammonia tank. The tank had been resealed and repainted. When they opened it, they found Dee Ann Warner's remains. She had been welded inside what became her tomb for over 3 years. On August 22nd, the medical examiner positively identified the remains through dental records. Dr. Susan Schmunk ruled Dee's death a homicide. After 3 years of uncertainty, Dee had finally been found. In May 2025, Dee's family filed a $100 million wrongful death lawsuit against Dale. The lawsuit alleges Dale fatally strangled his wife, transported her body, welded her inside the tank, and repainted it. The trial is scheduled for January 2026. Dee Ann Warner's daughter, Raquel Box, stated, "This is not over. It's only beginning. We will fight even harder to make sure we get the justice she deserves." Dee Ann Warner can rest in peace knowing her story has been told. Her killer has been caught. Her family will never stop fighting.
Like, subscribe for deep dive investigations like this one every week.